Tuesday, the 10th of October. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you back here on the Plus. My name's Damon. It's good to see you all again. So many familiar names and faces already saying good morning and hello to each other in the chat. Good morning and hello, everyone. Not yet. It is Fred Warner Appreciation Day. I hope you enjoyed the thumbnail. We all know what Fred's wallet says, but there's nothing else about him that actually says that. You know, he's not the kind of guy who is looking for attention. Fred Warner isn't someone who is experiencing a degree of really recognizable fame and wants to compound on it with a podcast. I'm looking at you, Micah Parsons. We're going to talk about you in just a second. But man, Fred Warner has just been everywhere this year. And like all things in football, you talk about the head coach, you talk about the quarterback. Christian McCaffrey's doing things to make sure that we talk about him. We talk about the violence that this offense plays with. We talk about how 30 points whenever you look up, all these times in a row is so impressive. And people respond to offensive football probably more than anything else. It's what we're here for. People like the bells and whistles and to score. I bet you a lot of people, when they're playing Madden, don't even bother playing defense. They just play like offense-only options because offense is fun. Offense shouldn't be a grind. Offense shouldn't be a thankless task. Normally you do something offensively and you're thanked for it. So much of football happens on that defensive side of the ball. We don't spend nearly half the time concentrating on it, though, or talking about it or valuing its importance. But man, there's a reason why the cliche isn't offense wins championships. Fred Warner's got 29 solo tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception so far this season, and it really feels like that this is the year that his name is being used on the lips of people who are important people when it comes to setting up end-of-year player award discussions. And we still got 12 more games to go. It's a long time before we're really narrowing in on who might be really qualified to be a defensive player of the year. But you got to get into that clubhouse, by now. Like, you start seeing who will be in the conversation at the end of the year based on the starts that they've had. And I just don't know if anybody in football defensively is having a better start to the year than Fred Warner. He's doing everything that is being asked of him by his head coach, by his defensive coordinator, by his teammates, and by a fan base has pretty much been check, 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 check. Fred does it all. He absolutely does it all. He is putting himself in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Hey, respect to Max Crosby, who last night did an awful lot to make sure, kind of bully his way into that conversation as well. And there's, a few other players who are really outstanding defensive players, and Micah Parsons is one of them. He wasn't necessarily last week, but he is one of those guys. Look, it's year 6 for Fred. So he is at the prime of his career. This is right now as good as it's supposed to be for him. And it's been outstanding. I mean, is Fred Warner's in-game grade an A+, 5 games in a row now? It'd be hard finding the play he got wrong, much less the game he didn't play well in. That's who he is. We're looking at an outstanding player at the peak of his powers, at the peak of his physical ability, right at the edge of knowing all there is to know as a pro. You've been in, this is your 6th year. You get the league by now. You know player tendencies. You know division opponents. You know the stadiums that you're walking in and out of. Like, in year 6, you're supposed to see the Matrix a little. And Fred sees the Matrix. 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro nods. I think he's on the way to a 3rd in both regards. And just what makes him so special is it's really hard to be good at everything. A jack-of-all-trades linebacker eventually has fall off when you start trying to make an argument that he's still really good over doing this as well. Normally when you get a linebacker who's got exemplary foot speed, you're going to sacrifice something from a strength standpoint or an ability to plug a hole standpoint, just endurance, some size. Not with Fred. Fred Warner's built like a brick hit house, and he is fast as a wide receiver. He's got some physical attributes that really aren't supposed to be in the same human at the same time. Again, so you're going to have all the strength and the size that you need. Well, normally you're going to leave a little on the table from a foot speed standpoint, but nope, not Fred. Not Fred. Tackling ability, hitting ability, check. Now, speed. Okay, what kind of speed are we talking about? Because there's all sorts of speed on a football field. There is blowing up plays in the backfield, which is going forward speed. There's the ability to drop back. There's sideline to sideline speed. How quickly can you go east to west as a linebacker, just tracking a play in front of you and knowing when to find your angle of attack? Fred is trigonometry out there. His speed allows him to close the gap on just about anyone on the field, anywhere, in any direction. You're not supposed to be omnidirectional fast, but Fred is. He's got good hands. You know, if you put a little tip drill in front of Fred Warner, he might come down with that ball. He can sack a quarterback. He can plug a hole. He can stuff a run. He can run with a 4.3 dude for 50 yards downfield. I mean, it's absurd. To ask Fred Warner to defend slot receivers is a good way. How about this? Fred Warner is the matchup that offensive coordinators are hunting. You'd love to see a receiver on a linebacker, advantage receiver, unless the linebacker's Fred Warner. The guy's been unbelievable. Unbelievable. When you go back and you watch a game, if you're that kind of a sick puppy level of fan, again, I got to rewatch these things. Do you? If you're rewatching them for pure pleasure, baby. Well, get the pleasure that is watching a 49ers game, and I don't want you to watch anyone but Fred Warner. I basically rewatched that first half against the Dallas Cowboys, and I didn't watch or take my eyes off of Fred Warner once. If he was on camera, he was the only guy I was looking at. Unbelievable. I would love for you to be able to sit in front of a piece of paper with like a pen in your hand or a marker in your hand and just put a dot on the piece of paper wherever you think Fred Warner is, and then just move the pen across the paper wherever you think Fred Warner is going. You move your pen there. At the end of it, you're going to have abstract art. Fred Warner is everywhere. He is everywhere on a football field. He's making plays behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, down from the line of scrimmage. He's making plays in the secondary. He's making plays on the sideline, in the middle of the field. He's doing everything, everywhere, all at once. It's like that movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. He's interdimensional. I'm not trying to get too goofy on this guy, but really, watch him. Just watch him. It's breathless. You'll just be saying, like, here's the thing. I bet you right now, you really appreciate Fred Warner. But you will not appreciate him until you just start watching him like you should. Watch Fred Warner on a football field. Just Fred Warner on a football field. Forget every other guy wearing a helmet. Just watch Fred Warner. It's a holy shit experience. Guys everywhere. And when you look at him, he's just got universal respect from everyone in the league, every media member, local, national. He's got universal respect from all of his teammates. He's got universal respect from his opponents, from opposing coaches. The jury has returned. This guy is a stud of the first degree. Old people, young people, living people, dead people, even like Fred Warner. This guy is just... You can't help but walk away being impressed with who he is if you actually went and talked to him. Very nice guy. BYU, kind of hat in hand, humble, very smiley. You know, some players, you walk up to him and you automatically get that he really doesn't want to talk to you vibe. That's not Fred. You can walk up to Fred with him standing in just his football pants at a locker, half naked, and he'll be like, "Hi, how you doing?" Like, he's just a friendly guy. And then the game starts. And he starts ripping people's heads off. That's a captain, man. Here's to Fred Warner. Fred Warner Appreciation Day, everyone. Spread it with your family and someone that you love. Oh, and that's officially the sip of the day. That was a good one right there. That was the Fred Warner sip of the day. Meanwhile, I told you we would tell you a little bit about Micah Parsons here on the show this afternoon. And Deebo Samuel was doing his weekly hit that he does with Kay Adams. And basically, look, I honestly, I've never seen a defense give up 42 points and feel better about their prospects as the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons seems to. Like, Micah Parsons just watched a game that got so out of pocket on him that, Sam Darnold's out there taking 11 snaps. Micah Parsons is obviously not reading Matt Barrows, because with 13:55 left to play on Sunday, Matty writes, the only defensive starter on the field was Cleveland Farrell at that point. When a team beats you so thoroughly, they've got all the Warriors out of the game in the fourth quarter. Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, Looney, you guys sit over there. Like, we got minutes for James Wiseman tonight. Is how badly the 49ers beat the Cowboys. But Micah Parsons is a podcast. And look, I'm never going to deny a player the opportunity to be interesting. But when you're trying to be interesting, you might step in it. And to me, Micah Parsons, just like, dude, you are individually a great player, but your football team just got its ass kicked so bad that you had to wear clown shoes on the way to the airport. So don't sit down and drop this like, I still think we're right there with the Niners. That game wasn't representative of what we are, what we do. You've lost 3 in a row, and the beatings are getting worse, dude. Like, I mean, come on. Are we living in the same observable reality together here, Micah? Again, Deebo Samuel with Kay Adams just has heard enough. And instead of no commenting, Deebo basically just said, dude, you don't want to see us again. It might get worse if you see us again. I like it. I'm here for it. In the most bulletin board adverse sport in the world, to have guys talking smack to each other, give it to me. I love it. Give it to me. Give it to me, NFL. There is no sport where players intentionally say less about what they really think about opposing teams and teammates and players than in the sport of football, because football is the one sport where how angry you might be at your opponent that day can actually help you. I mean, this is a look good, feel good, play good sport if there ever was one. And if you're feeling good, if you're feeling extra frisky, you might play extra frisky. So every coach, every player does everything they can all week long to dodge any question that might add some extra friskiness to the other locker room. Okay, guys. Chop it up. Chop it up. Again, you chopped it up so well that Sam Darnold's out there taking 11 snaps against you. You didn't chop it up much, Micah. But I understand you got a podcast to host, right? You got Jerry Jones, meanwhile, talking about how Dak Prescott's going to take us to a Super Bowl. What, like on a bus? Is he buying tickets? I love Jerry Jones talking about how great his team is on a Tuesday on Dallas radio after they just got de-pantsed on Sunday Night Football. That's great entertainment right there. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks to all involved. Thanks to the radio station that makes that happen. Thanks to Jerry. Thanks to the internet for capturing it and spreading it around everywhere. Of course, Jerry has to say things like, yeah, I still think Dak is the guy to get us to a Super Bowl. What do they owe Dak? Like $56 million next year, whatever the number is. It's a big number if Dak is coming back next year. I think they can walk away at the end of this year, which might be half the reasons why Trey Lance was added, because Trey Lance will be the backup to Cooper Rush once they say, thanks for the memories, Dak. Dak did not play well. Did not play well on Sunday. And that's the kind of game he needs to win. You know, is Dak a pretty good regular season quarterback? Can he play well against a team that is just another team? Yeah, he's good at that. What about the best of the best of the best of the best? It ain't good. I swear to God, I might as well smoke cigarettes the way that the smoker's cough is going through this house. Jack's got the whooping cough. Ozzy's got it. Jillian's been coughing for a month. And now here it comes for me. This freaking world. World's a pretty scary place these days. I shouldn't complain about my cough. Got a lot of people here in the chat. It is good to see you. Joseph is saying, hey, Damon, you sound better. Well, thank you. I'm glad I sound better. That's really good. Warner and Greenlaw are sharks all over the middle of the field.
Go Sharks. They begin their quest for a Stanley Cup on Thursday.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Micah can't keep his mouth shut. He's constantly running out bulletin board material for the opposition. Well, again, this is what happens when you got a podcast. You know, unless you're Draymond Green, you probably shouldn't have a podcast as a player. But man, Fred Warner is special. And I'm glad you saw it too here because, man, True Blue Forever is like Max Crosby is a beast. He is. He is. If we wanted to talk about the single most valuable Raiders, here's the list right now. Allegiant Stadium, Max Crosby, everyone else behind the two of those. Those are the two most valuable assets in the entire bouquet of the Las Vegas Raiders. Their practice facility is probably worth something too. So the new revised list is Allegiant Stadium, Max Crosby, the practice facility, Devontae Adams, and then that new chick that was in Mark Davis's box the other night. She must be with him for true love. She's ridiculously lean. She's in the circus, the Cirque du Soleil circus. That means she's flexible as well. Draw your own conclusions. That was a big win for the Raiders on Monday Night Football. That would have been the early breaking of the Josh McDaniel credibility back. I mean, he needed that. They needed that. That saved the early part of the Raiders season. I'm not saying that they can't scuttle this whole thing and screw it up, but the Raiders needed that one last night, and they got it. So, congratulations, Raiders fans. It was kind of a fun game, fun ending. The 49ers are officially your Super Bowl favorites, boys and girls, sitting here on Tuesday. With Week 5 now officially in the books, the 49ers are your Super Bowl favorites. They've been that for the past few weeks, but it's growing. Right now, the 49ers, if you wanted them today, are 13-4 to win it all, followed by the Chiefs at 6-1. The Eagles are at 15-2. Then it's the Dolphins at 8-1. So, pretty interesting stuff. Through 5 weeks of football, it feels like not only based on what we've seen, but based on what everybody's seen in the real football world, in the gambling football world, in all football worlds, people are looking at the Niners as the team out there to beat right now. That's exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants through 5 weeks. He wants a healthy team, and the bicep injury on Aaron Banks isn't as bad as you could fear about a bicep injury, so that's good news. There's nothing kind of but good news around the 49ers. Got Mike, San Bruno Mike. Fred Warner might just be Neo in disguise. He really might be. It's like he just got the Hall of Fame linebacker program. Just they put that needle right in the back of his head, and zzz, now you know judo. Guy's been unbelievable. I really mean it. If you are the type of person, you don't even have to watch the whole game. Just watch the first quarter. There's really not much out there because it was just 3 and out for the Dallas Cowboys. Just watch Fred Warner. Put the game on. If you're doing nothing tonight, you got nothing to do, and you got the game still on your DVR, just put it on and watch Fred Warner, and light a joint and just sit back and enjoy the masterpiece. It's fantastic. God, he was awesome. In all of the great games that Fred Warner has played, Sunday night might be the best game he's ever played in the NFL. Guys, he's an apparition. He's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Sporticus, he's a linebacker's linebacker. I always like that. He's a comedian's comedian. He's an artist's artist. He's a guitar player's guitar player. He's a chef's chef. He's a linebacker's linebacker. He is. He really is. He really is. You cannot help but have universal respect for that guy. Charlene. Charlene is after our own hearts here. We might have a new official woman of the Palouse to talk. Charlene getting funky with that all 22. You're right, Charlene. That's straight up football pornography. 49ers all 22. Charlene, she had it first. T from the 203 dropping a $15 super chat on the show today. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that, T. Happy first day of NBA preseason action that we have today. No, hey, Warriors, you must be talking Miami Heat because Warriors are already underway. They got underway this weekend. They got their next game, I think, Friday against the Lakers. I wrote it down. I'll double check that. But damn. Basketball's coming. We're 2 weeks away from opening night for the Warriors. 2 weeks away. Clown Man says, Ayo. Great show, Damon. Side note, Randy Gregory highlights. He is a fast beast. Add that to Fred, Bosa, Hufanga, etc. Dude, 3 weeks, that defensive line is just going to be punching dudes. Clown Man, you're right. I mean, the Niners played about as good of a defensive football game as you can play, and they haven't even gotten their new toy out there to play with in Randy Gregory. Nick J, says, pro football fuckery, what is their formula for grades? I don't know. Like Pro Football Focus, it's sort of like a analytics for your general manager. There's some interesting information in there, but there's not enough to craft an entire game plan from it. I don't know what Fred Warner's Pro Football Focus grades are, but if you watch with your own two eyes and you're giving him anything other than an A+, I don't think you know what football is. Like, that guy's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Pern saying Fred is a world class through and through. Never taking that man for granted. And that's one of the things that is the goal of this channel, to make sure you're not taking things for granted. Enjoy things as they're happening. Stop worrying about the future that will show up to present itself to you, whether you worry about it or not. Like, don't worry about what's coming, because what's coming is going to get here. What you need to concentrate on is how much fun here is while you're here. Club Plus VIP seats next to OB3. Who's that? Odell Beckham? OB3? What's QB3? Is that what a QB3? Is that, I don't know. Anyways, George Kittle, belated birthday. Was it George Kittle's birthday? I'm surprised he hasn't released an own commercial looking for more attention. I kid George Kittle. George loves the camera. I'm glad I saw that, T, from the 203. I'm over here in the chat earlier than I normally am, and I got to see your super chat. Thank you very, very much for the generosity and the love, because that's a great way to come out and support the station, the channel, whatever this is here on YouTube, with a super chat. Really, really appreciate that. And then, of course, you can always take good care of me by taking good care of my sponsors, and my sponsors will take great care of you. Ike, for example, will serve you the most delicious sandwich you're going to have all week. Get yourself to Ike's for lunch. Have a delicious sandwich. I think I am going to have a Jamie Sirewich delivered to my house this afternoon, because I haven't had one in about 2 weeks, and I like to eat an Ike sandwich once every 2 weeks. I'm good for 2 Ikes a month. Easy. Easy. 2 Ikes a month. Got to trim it down. I noticed the neck waddle. I got to drop some pounds here. I'm a camera-facing talent. I got to look beautiful these days. But I need an Ike sandwich, and I'm going to get one today. You should get one today. There's your Ike's commercial. Get their sandwiches. They're delicious. End commercial. There you go. Let me tell you how you pay for these sandwiches. That's easy to do if you are dripping in cash, and that's exactly what you are if you're following my pal Stefan over at bottomlinebets.com. And not only is Stefan there to give you handicapping, like Ike, who serves love in sandwiches, Stefan is serving love in handicapping. And here's the love he has for you. Another free day. Another free day of handicapping. If you use the promo code Damon when you sign up for Bottom Line Bets, you'll get a free day, a day that you can use between now and Monday Night Football. So you want to go and start riding Stefan's hot hand for playoff baseball? You can do that. You want to save it till college football Saturday? You can do that. You want to save it to week 6 in the NFL and that slate coming to you on Sunday? You can do that too. Stefan, generous as he is giving away another free day of handicapping. Find out how good it is for yourself. Find out how good it is for yourself. Go to bottomlinebets.com. Use promo code Damon when you sign up for your free day of handicapping. You got another week with promo code Damon and Stefan's unbelievable generosity. Then where would you go to make that bet? Well, why not mybookie.ag? Use promo code Damon over there, and you'll get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. It is international, which means when you sign up, make sure that your credit card has been approved for international transactions. And boom, you're going to be underway in a fun way to play and make those bets that you can't do otherwise. So there you go. The channel grows, it grows. I got a kind of a funny story before we hop right back into sports. So, here I am really trying to establish myself as, hey, I was certainly a Niner authority on the radio. I'm not on the radio anymore. We're over here. So establishing myself as a Niner authority over here. Larry Krueger and I are doing all that quickly. Things are going well. There's no doubt about it. The station is growing. It's all looking good. I'm excited about it. Yesterday was the most watched day in the history of my channel. Was it 49ers wake up? Absolutely, that had something to do with it. Was it a big audience for the 11 a.m. show? Absolutely, that had something to do with it too. But it isn't my coverage of the 49ers that made yesterday the most watched show, the most watched day in the history of this channel. So I can sit here doing great content that I prepare for and really grind out and doing some show prep to unearth a fact that I will dazzle you with. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm doing God's work over here or hard work over here, but I do some work to prepare to come and give you something that will illuminate you. So I do all this research on the 49ers and the Warriors and the Giants and all the stuff that we care about. I'm constantly digging into all that. Well, the number one most watched thing I've ever done on my channel wasn't any of that. It was me just saying, this Shohei Ohtani guy is pretty good. Most watched video that I put up was about Shohei Ohtani. It got picked up over in Japan. YouTube is essentially a search engine. And so I happened to do a Shohei Ohtani video the same day where he goes out and he hits 2 home runs, maybe his longest home run of the entire year. So everyone was like Googling him and they found me. I got big in Japan for a minute over there, right? We had Ohtani Tuesdays because, man, Ohtani was bringing us incredible attention and it was great. It was great. But I was also like, God, the one thing I just happened to bring up after all the work that I'm putting into everything else, it's the one thing that I just happen to bring up is my most watched video. Well, did I get another piece of humble pie served to me? Because on Saturday, On Saturday afternoon, I'm in my backyard. I'm watching the Blue Angels fly over my house because it's Fleet Week in San Francisco. We got Ozzy in the backyard. Jack is with his grandparents down at Fleet Week. So it's just me, Jillian, Ozzy hanging out in the backyard. And we got these reusable plastic capsules, which are great little water balloons. They're reusable water balloons. Ozzy takes two of these out of a bucket of water, smashes them on his head, and I just happened to be filming. It was adorable. Like, I sent the video to my mom, his grandma. I sent the video to some family members, and then after Jillian, I'm like, I think I'm going to put this up on as a YouTube short. And, it's just cute. It's adorable. It's cute. I maybe it'll get a couple of hundred views and then it'll go away. Like so many of the YouTube shorts I put up, it gets a couple of hundred views and then it's just never heard or seen from again. And that's exactly what happened. I put up the video of Ozzy on Saturday, gets a couple hundred views, and then just goes away. And then out of nowhere, 2 days later, the YouTube algorithm comes for it, and it's the first video, a YouTube short of my 2-year-old son breaking 2 water balloons, refillable water balloons on his head, is my first video to eclipse 10,000 views. That's the greatest thing in the world. All the hard work that I'm putting into this gets completely demolished by my 2-year-old and a bucket of water. If that's not your internet lesson of the day, I don't know what is. I love it. That's great. So there you go. More Ozzy coming soon, apparently. The kid's a hit. All right, back to sports. Back to sports we go. Buddy of mine, Kyle Madsen, a laid-off brethren of mine from 95.7 The Game, who's found work now hosting a radio show up in Sacramento. I'm very happy for Kyle. Kyle's also a writer for Niners Wire. He does a really good job covering the 49ers, and he was breaking down some pretty interesting numbers about this defense. Yosarian, it just went by me. I didn't get to it fast enough, but he's like, Minutes for Wiseman should be the name of your postgame show when the Niners are just kicking ass. Minutes for Wiseman. Oh, love it. Okay. So with 5 games down, the 49ers are leading the NFL in point differential at plus 99. They have scored 99 more points than they have allowed. Here's what the top 5 looks like. The 49ers are plus 99. The Bills are plus 79. The Cowboys are plus 51. Remember, the Cowboys played just punching bags in the Giants, the Jets, and the New England Patriots to inflate their stats a little bit. And then the 49ers hit them with a shaving cream pie, and they look like morons today. But, math is still math. So the Cowboys are third at plus 51. Chiefs are at plus 48. The Dolphins are at plus 46. And if we're being completely honest, even with the humiliation of the Dallas Cowboys, the 49ers, Bills, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Cowboys those are 5 good teams. But a quick deep dive into San Francisco's first and second half splits really shows you how good they have been. And if you wanted to talk about how good the Niners have been from a point differential standpoint, again, the Niners' overall point differential still leads the league at plus 99, followed by the Bills at plus 79, followed by the Cowboys at plus 51, followed by the 49ers defense in just the second half where they're plus 50, followed by the 49ers defense in the first half where they're plus 49, followed by the Chiefs who are plus 48. That's how good the 49ers have looked. They're skinning teams alive with overwhelming halves and quarters that these opponents just don't get up from. And as we stand here on October 10th, this glorious Tuesday, we've got like 4 major streaks that we're keeping track of, right? There's 4 major streaks right now with the 49ers. They've won 15 straight regular season games, tied for the longest winning streak in 49ers history. They win in Cleveland. They've won 16 in a row. They've scored 30 or more points 5 times to start a season for the first time in franchise history. So there's a streak right there in just the vacuum of this season. But that's another streak going back to 8 straight regular season games, which is their longest in franchise history of scoring at least 30 now in 8 straight regular season games. And then you've got the Christian McCaffrey streak that is scoring a touchdown in 14 straight games, playoffs included. And then you got your Brock Purdy. He has not been beaten as a regular season starter streak going on. He is 10-0 as a regular season starter, and that is the 3rd longest winning streak in the history of these are my first 10 starts in the history of the league. It's the 3rd longest. So, pick the streak you like the most and pay attention to that. There's another way to enjoy the 49ers this season. It feels like there's a lot of way to enjoy the 49ers this season. Legends Pizza says, Damon, I'm not feeling good today. My weekend at Disneyland got me sick. Seriously, you go out and you mill about society with a lot of people, you get a little something. You just get the spilkus. What do we got here? Went to my annual Hot Wheels convention, and then the wife and I hit up Disneyland. A Hot Wheels convention? I have nothing snarky to say. I have nothing defamatory to say. You've piqued my interest. I would absolutely walk around a Hot Wheels convention for an hour. That's how much I liked Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I didn't even know they had Hot Wheels conventions. Douglas. Love your podcast, Mr. Bruce. Bang, bang, 49er game, Niner mob. Thank you, Douglas. I had not seen your name in here before. Hello and welcome. And I hope you click like and subscribe to the growing channel that is being dominated by my 2-year-old son. 49ers, speaking of 2, their next 2 are out on the road, right? They're at Cleveland on Sunday, then at Minnesota the following Monday. That is October 23rd, that Monday night. And just to let you know, as I've said, not only are the Niners off to an incredible start, which just that alone is good, not only are they off to an incredible start and healthy, which is extra good, they're healthy, off to an incredible start, and the way the league is breaking around them looks really good too, including this. So you go to Minnesota on a Monday night, the number one guy you got to worry about is clearly Justin Jefferson. Except the 49ers are not going to have to worry about Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson has a hamstring that has landed him on IR. He will miss the next 4 weeks, meaning when the 49ers roll into the big Viking boat there on Monday Night Football, they're not going to be dealing with Justin Jefferson. That is a gift from the football gods to the 49ers. So that game just gets easier on that alone. By the way, the Vikings are going to be without Justin Jefferson when they play the Bears this week as well. And Adam Schefter, who not only was announcing that Jefferson was going on IR, he decided to twist the knife. But I got to put it up because I'm just so upset with the Bears. I'm now into the public humiliation of the Chicago Bears. Minnesota plays the Bears this week without Justin Jefferson, who's got 5,396 career receiving yards in just 55 NFL games. That's more than any Bears receiver in their 100-year-plus history. The Bears' all-time leading receiver is Johnny Morris with 5,059. Johnny Morris hasn't played a football game since 1967. That is how completely limp dick the Chicago Bears have been offensively for the entirety of their career. The Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer. God, they're frustrating. All right. We will be hopping into Club Blues here in just a second, but first, a little baseball for you. I am still paying attention to a sport that doesn't deliver extra attention to the channel, but what can I tell you? I like baseball. I apologize for nothing. especially when Bruce Bochy is involved. Bruce Bochy is one win away from the American League Championship Series, everyone. The Texas Rangers are undefeated to this point in the postseason. And Nathan Eovaldi goes for the sweep of the Baltimore Orioles tonight. By the way, these divisional series only being 5-game series is atrocious. These should be 7-game series. But the only thing I can tell you about Bruce Bochy is that you all know why we're all rooting for him. But him winning a World Series in the same season that the Giants fired Gabe Kapler, that would be chef's kiss, would it not? That's the whole world telling you that it laughs when you're making plans. That's the universe talking about lessons the Giants apparently did not learn, even though they were lessons that they were teaching with Bruce Bochy. And look, Bruce's last few years with the Giants weren't great, but it wasn't Bruce's fault. It was Bobby Evans not stocking that team. So anyhow, Bruce Bochy is 9 innings of winning baseball away from the ALCS. Go Boch. Sanchi. Astros and Twins this afternoon. That series is tied at 1. Monday night, while you might have been watching little Raiders and Packers, the Braves evened up their series with the Phillies in dramatic fashion, doubling up Bryce Harper over at first base at a great catch on the outfield wall. And the Doyers are 1 loss away from being swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, that's why, with more than A.J. Pollock, maybe the Giants could have snuck in this. Anyway, they didn't. Diamondbacks did. And the Diamondbacks are a win away from the National League Championship Series. Both NL Series resume in their new stadiums, in their new venues on Wednesday. It is, hold on, I got to look this. Here it is.
Done scoring.
It's hockey season.
Done scoring.
I know he retired.
Done scoring.
I know he's not a Shark.
Done scoring.
I know he's no longer an Avalanche.
Done scoring.
I know he's no longer a Kraken, but the Kraken do play, and we got hockey again.
Done scoring.
Which is always going to make me think of Jonas Donskoy, the single greatest hockey player ever born, ever lived, ever played. It is hockey season. It is opening night. 3 games across ESPN. Connor Bedard making his debut with the Blackhawks tonight. Number 1 pick in the draft. The Sharks join the season on Thursday when they host the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights play the Kraken tonight as they begin Defense of Lord Stanley's Cup. So let's go. Sure. Little hockey season. That's great. By the way, wouldn't it be really a smart thing to do for the NBA to take notice that these hockey players need more rest throughout the year than we even do, because hockey is like an actual collision sport. We do have a contact sport, but if you looked at somebody in the NBA as hard as hockey players look at each other, you would be suspended for 15 games. So hockey is a billion times more physical than basketball could ever claim to be. And to make sure that players aren't taking nights off night after night after night after night, they decided we're gonna make the season longer. How come the NBA is not starting tonight as well? Why is the NBA waiting 2 more weeks to get the show on the road? You need more time in your season. The only way to get more time is to start earlier or go later. Like, I've figured this all out, and I'm not a math major. I can't believe that they're not starting the year earlier. But they aren't. 2 weeks still until opening night between the Warriors and the Suns at Chase Center. But hockey season gets going tonight. Warriors preseason continues Friday in Los Angeles. Then they got the Kings after that. And 2 weeks from now, it's basketball season. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. What do we got? Is it the night? Is that the night that it's the night after the 49ers play the Vikings on Monday Night Football? That'll be a fun week, right? Before we jump into Club Plus here, we're going to wrap up with one more thing, because it's too bad that college football's only really motivating factor this day is money. How to make money, how to make more money, how to save a little bit of money. And it's too bad that Fresno State needs the money, because if I were Fresno State, now would be the awesome time to turn around to Stanford and UCLA and say, you know what, go screw yourselves. I saw Josh Dubow, the Associated Press, report that the Fresno State Bulldogs will be benefiting from the Stanford UCLA conference move out of the Pac-12 by getting both teams to come to Fresno for the first time ever. Why would Stanford and UCLA never play Fresno? Well, Fresno was beneath them, right? So Fresno State has been wanting to play Stanford and UCLA forever. Come to the Valley for a game. Give us a home and home. And these Pac-12, former Pac-12, soon to be former Pac-12 snobs always said, no. So why now? Why would they play Fresno State now? You know why? To save money on travel, since they're going to be spending so much money traveling through their Big Ten schedule. Now going to a game at Fresno State doesn't look so bad. I wish the Bulldogs would just be like, you know what? Go screw. We don't even want your game anymore. But there you go. An unintended consequence of the Pac-12 crumbling is UCLA and Stanford looking for cheaper travel, therefore games scheduled. Stanford visits the Valley in 2028 and hosts Fresno State in 2029, with UCLA visiting in 2032 and hosting on Thanksgiving weekend in 2024. I seriously hate that college football has said, you know what, we're going to take everything we ever sold you about the importance of tradition vanishes because of money. And now, as a matter of fact, we are going to provide you with matchups we never provided you with in the attempt to save money. God, I hate the way that money is the only motivator in that sport right now. It's gross. And that's all the time we have here, kids. I told you I'd never waste your time. Never for a minute, never for a heartbeat, never for a second, never for a show. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for doing so. If you're not subscribing to that podcast, please do. If you're not subscribing to this channel, please do. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. If you haven't hit notify, please do. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Wait, where's my plug? Where's my plug? Hold on. Well, there it is. Ooh. Did I just get more handsome? I think I did. Oh, no, I just missed the chef tip of the day. I've told you, Chef A, don't send over your chef tip of the day until Club Plus starts. I miss it. How about everyone in the chat? You all chat with each other so much that the damn list moves too fast. Do me a favor. Don't text me anything. Don't chat me anything you deem important until Club Plus starts, because I won't see it. Your super chats, boy, I certainly love them. Save those for Club Plus so I don't miss them. Chef A, your chef's tip of the day, save that for Club Plus, or I might miss it. Here we go. Vince Vargas says Nick Wright was wrong again. Damon's buddy, so I don't rip him that much. Go ahead, rip away. He can take it. He makes like $1.5 million a year. He doesn't care. So that's my man right there. But yeah, when it comes to Bay Area sports prognostications, Nick Wright is usually wrong about everything. Again, the single greatest basketball team he will ever have to look at in his lifetime escaped him. He didn't notice that the Warriors were that good, but that's okay. Oh, here we go. Damon, I got to work the Heat preseason action, yo. Oh, work that Heat preseason action. I hope you come in with the Jimmy Butler Karen haircut. That'd be great. Get that Jimmy Butler, I've given up, I got to bring the kids to soccer practice, media day haircut of his. That was great. Rick says, wait a minute. Are you telling me we have a sports show that doesn't sensationalize, attempt to click, create bait, and gaslight fans? What a concept, right? I mean, it's probably holding me back from being successful here, Rick. It really is. You know, where are we from a followers to a subscriber standpoint today? Whatever it is, it'd probably be double if I just went full on douche nozzle and lied and screamed and panicked about everything, but it's just not who I am. Drew Down said he's a man's man. You're either talking about me or Fred Warner, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's Fred Warner. He's a professional hitter. He really is a professional hitter, Nick. Never daunted. Good to see Indiana in the house always. We need to talk more about Dre Greenlaw. Well, again, we'll save that for Dre Greenlaw Appreciation Day. Today was Fred's day. I wanted to put a spotlight on Fred, but you're right. And the two of them together, that is a tandem that I think is unmatched in terms of linebacker play in the NFL right now. Among all of the attributes that the 49ers have as a football team, the best linebackers is right up there with the best of their attributes. Michelle, that was the best game I've seen him play live. We were pumped up from the moment he ran on the field. Yeah, Fred's special. So are you, Michelle. Thank you very much for all the love, all the support. Drew Down, she's a stripper. Look, I don't know if Mark Davis's chick is a stripper. I know that she is like a Cirque du Soleil performer, and I know she's got abs that you could serve a 4-course dinner on. Those things are chiseled. Good Lord. She is we won't talk about how unattractive she is. That's for sure. We can still concentrate all those comments to Mark. I'm sure she's with him for the partnership. It's got nothing to do with his money. Mark Davis works at a Jiffy Lube. The only way he sees a girl like that is on the internet. But from an NFL owner's suite, he's Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, he's Mark Davis, God bless him, and his bowl cut and his nonsense. He's bringing him in like 23 years old at all times. It really is sort of gross. It really is gross. Here's something that no one has ever dared talk about in public. Just knowing what's going on up here with Mark Davis, what do you think his pubic hair looks like? Does he have a perfect bowl cut of pubic hair over his dong? You probably never wanted to think about these things, right? But these are the things. How about this? I'll let my mind walk around the dark places so yours doesn't go there. You know, I never really thought about Mark Davis's pubes until I was watching that show on YouTube hosted by Damon. You're welcome, everyone. I can see how quickly the chat is moving right now. That's getting a little traction. We'll get there. Kittle's a ham. He's a ham. Too funny in that Little Caesars commercial as well. Do you see that Zenny commercial where he's trying to like, I'm George Kittle. I like the way I move. I think my long hair looks good as it moves. It actually looked greasy as hell, but no one's going to tell him that. Damon doesn't know that Otis Bird has his own nickname in the Plus. I did not. I didn't know. But now I do. Thank you. What else we got going on here today? Let's see. Yeah, Damon. Why was your show the most watched show yesterday? Was Jillian hosting it? No. Yesterday was just, look at it this way. 49ers plus Cowboys equals moving needles. And the Ozzy video got picked up in the algorithm somehow. And 3 days after I posted, I totally forgot about the video, to be completely honest with you. And then all of a sudden in one day, it gets like 8,500 views and boom. Okay. I don't get it. I just Damon, did you show Nip? Was that it? Were you watching Seinfeld yesterday? Because that was part of the TBS rerun, the Elaine Nipple Christmas card episode. Rich, again, Damon, you and Krug are a revelation, for real fans. Thank you. It's amazing what experienced actual broadcasters can do to frame an afternoon of football. One might even suggest they're better than people who are just fans who have YouTube and the internet and think that they're now, ready to host shows too. And some of them are, but most of them aren't. Kevin said, Damon, I saw that video and I loved it. Oh, good, Kevin. You saw the double plastic water balloon Ozzy video. Thank you. Backyard in San Francisco? Sweet. Well, thank you, Leslie. I didn't ever think I was going to have one. Now, I'm going to tell you that my backyard takes not even 4.5 minutes to mow. It's not acreage. I'll never need a rider mower here in San Francisco. I can mow the front yard and the backyard like under 10 minutes from start to finish. That includes me dumping the grass out into the compost bin. That, from wheeling the lawnmower out, and it's just an electric lawnmower, like a battery charge can do my lawn 5 times. That's how small it is. So it's hardly acreage out there. But yeah, backyard in San Francisco. Ozzy's a star. He really is. Dude, Ozzy. Shout out Ozzy. Fleet Week? Doesn't that mean boats, Damon? Yes, there's lots of boats, but there's an air show too. And the air show in the air is what I can see from my backyard, not boats. The internet's a crazy place. We got to get Ozzy his own channel. Certainly an increase in allowance, according to Sporticus. They're chanting Ozzy's name. Doing his best Jim Belushi. Thank you. Sid says, hey, Damon, wait until your kid starts making YouTube shorts without you knowing about it on your account. Okay, so we're going to monitor these things. Kyle Madsen, killing it on 1320. I got to get Kyle on here as a guest. I really do. I'm so happy for that guy. He got so, look, in a world of we need to save money by laying people off because they make too much money, I understand why I guess a stupid station or a stupid company would say, all right, Damon and Ratto, you guys are making too much money. We got to let you go. For Kyle to have been laid off, as good and as hardworking and as dedicated and as up and coming as that young man is, totally sucks. But guess what? When one door closes, another opens, and Kyle has gone from producing to hosting in one layoff. So good for him, and Odyssey is terrible at what it claims to do for a living. Good for him. Hosted the Insiders. They did him dirty. Yeah, they did. They did. I mean, I don't even know what he was making, but it wasn't enough to change the financial future of a major corporation that owns multiple stations in multiple markets. You got to start selling off the artwork. Okay. Kyle was as valuable as a library book in terms of his cost to do business with. And they had to say goodbye to the library book. They couldn't even afford to take out a library book. It's wrong. And I'm not saying he's as talented as a library. He's an incredibly talented young man. He deserved better. He deserved more. And by the way, let me just tell you, if you think radio sucks right now, just wait for another decade. They're beating talented people out of this industry. Beating them right out of the industry, inviting them to go somewhere else. In 10 years, the format will be completely dead. In 10 years, I'll be over here with 6 million subscribers. Nip slipping for everyone. Krug and Bruce Disciple. There is someone with a username called the Krug and Bruce Disciple. I'm freaking honored. Thank you very, very much, Damon Bruce. Well, Krug and Bruce Disciple, thank you very much. I don't even have to ask you to subscribe. I guess you have. Thank you. Hit that like button. Wow. That's the most flattered I think I've been in a year. Thank you very much. I got to tell Larry about that. Didn't Damon mention he was going to get Nick on the Plus? Yeah, I'm going to get him. I've already had him here very early on. We'll get him back. We will get him back. All right. Nick Wright. Can't believe that dude said the 49ers would be better with Dak. Well, I mean, tell me he at least said that before the game. Because if you said that after the game, you sound like Jerry Jones talking about how you're about to go to a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. You sound nuts. Damon, what about the Thomas the Train convention? Thomas the Train's got his own convention too? Wow. You know, it's funny. All the children's programming that's constantly on in my house, the one thing I know is if any single children's cartoon programming for any age, any episode that involves a plot with a train, they're going to have trouble fitting something through a tunnel. I mean, you can set your watch to it. The minute you see a train in any child's cartoon getting item X through tunnel Y is going to come into the plot. How do they do it? Legends Pizza's got thousands of matchboxes. So Legends, here's the deal. When we do Plus Mania 2 Electric Boogaloo, what do we do? We call them November 5th? Is that when it's going to be? Let me double check this. Yeah, November 5th, Sunday, November 5th at Victory Hall. Same place we had Plus Mania 1. Legends Pizza, I hope you can make it this time. If you want to bring pizza, that's cool. I want you to bring matchboxes. Bring a case of matchboxes. Don't bring the valuable ones. Just bring some that we can play with. And we'll play Matchbox at the bar. Fuck yeah. And I'm going to tell you, this time around, we're not bringing the kids. So we're just going to have adults playing with your Matchbox cars. But bring them, Legends Pizza. St. Patty says, can you please tell us stories about Madden? Bro, I love playing that game and listening to your legendary vocals. I was never in Madden. I was in 2K. I was in NBA 2K. My voice was never in Madden. But it was in NBA 2K for several years, and then I got replaced by Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal, which I guess. Or no, I don't even know if Barkley made it. But yeah, I got replaced by the TNT crew. I get it. Nothing goes forever, right? Okay. Where are we here? We haven't reached the part of the chat where I was talking about Mark Davis's pubes, but I can feel it coming. I can feel it. Oh, here's Donskoy. So this is where we were talking about Damon. Where's my boy Ray Ratto at? Is a question. Look, I keep inviting Ray. I keep on sending. Ray is like ghosting me. He's not even writing me back anymore. So he's either on vacation or doesn't want to do it. I don't know. I'm not going to bother Ray anymore. Like at one point, I was like, hey, I'd love you to come on. And he's like, sure. And then the actual ask was made. And then it was always, well, he's busy. And here's the thing. I don't want to do it with just Ray over the internet. Like I want him sitting right here. So if I can't get Ray right here, I don't know if I want Ray. And I don't know if Ray wants to be here. So maybe the answer is never. I don't know. I don't know. Ray is an odd duck. And I will say this, the one day you think like, oh, that guy's totally given up on me. He's not going to come through. That's the day you get a text from him. So who knows? How about this? Just like he's got nothing good or bad to say about me, I got nothing good or bad to say about Ray. If it happens, it happens. Great. I've asked. I've given him lots of dates. Hasn't happened yet. Oh, well. He might be somewhere making a salami sandwich. Just mustard. Excuse me. Pardon me. Shush says, damn, I'm late. But just in time for Club Plus. You all need a What's Up app group chat. T from the 203. Yeah, you should absolutely have a place to hang out and talk together during games. You should. Someone should start that. That would be great. Again, this community is cool as hell. It's cool as hell. Say Nick has no love for the Bay. At least that's what he portrays. Here's the thing. It's half material. That's what it is. He's doing a bit. I mean, he's admitted to much to me. He gets it. He knows what moves the needle. And that's why he's making like $2 million a year, $1.5 million a year. He's doing great. Sporticus, who's enjoying the thumbnail today. Like Fred Warner, the Big Kahuna Burger doesn't seek attention, yet is undeniably a tasty burger. Can I have a sip of your beverage to wash down this burger? Love it. All right. F. Mark Davis. Merkin. All right. We've officially reached the Mark Davis pubes portion of the show in the chat today. That's great. I'm glad we got here. I knew it was coming. That's what she said. He's got a ball toupee. Oh, man. Otis is like, what am I doing here? Yeah, Damon, I'm dying. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, not everyone is dying. Some of us are collectively vomiting. Thank you very much, Nick J. Nehemiah has hit the pause button. I don't blame you. I understand your host let you down a little bit. Your host is getting green face. Oh, fish and chips might win the afternoon, though. You know what this has become? Club pubes. Forget the plus. It's Club Pubes. That's great. Yeah, Michelle. Oh my God. Talk about things that never crossed my mind for 1,000. Baron Red, I was eating. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, is he manscaping down there? I mean, it's the weirdest hairline in the world, right? Weird. Some articles say girlfriend is a Cirque du Soleil performer. Others say she's an Australian musician. The mystery continues. I don't know. All I'm going to tell you is that she's got great abs. Whatever she is, she's got abs. Ozzy needs a raise, represented by Scott Boris. I mean, here's the thing. If Ozzy was charging us per view, we couldn't afford him on this channel. Damon, no need to pay a landscaper. Oh, thank you. Oh, no, you're not talking about the pubes anymore. You're talking about my backyard. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. What do we got here? Danny Golding TV. By the way, everyone go subscribe to Danny's YouTube channel too. He's a nice kid, up and coming, hard worker. I like you, Danny. I got tickets to Game 3 of the NLDS at Chase Field. Hopefully see the Dodgers get eliminated. Yeah, I know you're a Diamondbacks fan, brother. I hope it works out for you. I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks. Give me an Arizona Diamondbacks, Texas Rangers. Nobody in the world wanted it World Series. Give me that. And I got someone to pull for. Give me the team that no one wants to win it, either in the Diamondbacks or give me Bruce Bochy. Either way, I can live with it and feel good about it. I don't need the Braves to win another World Series. I don't need the Dodgers to win another World Series. I certainly don't need the Astros to win anything else. And, since it's between, I would have absolutely felt really good about rooting for the Orioles, but they ran into Bruce Bochy, so can't do that. Damon, when are you and getting Michael Irvin on? Well, I tried to get him on during Cowboys week, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But I'm working on it. Meanwhile, Damon, they spent a milt to build brand new studios at 88 Kearney, where they're all going to currently move into. Yeah, the company that's totally out of money and has a 50% stock price is building out a very new studio for a radio station and a concept of media that probably doesn't even exist 15 years from now. This is why they're bad at their. This is why I know you're all bad at your jobs. Again, what do you need to have a massive audience these days? You don't need the brick and mortar radio station with all these soundproof studios. You need a spot downstairs and a YouTube channel. And like Larry Krueger and I, you can take over an entire market from just downstairs. Again, how many millions of dollars is Odyssey spending on creating a new showpiece frickin' studio? I don't know, but I'll be beating them with my $4,000 MacBook Pro. Again, I didn't want to fight the entire world, but you declare war, and the only thing that's been proven true over almost 20 years for me here is that you don't want to be in a ratings war with Damon Bruce. You don't. You had me on your team. You threw me off your team. And even though I still like the guys on that team, it is now my job to beat all teams. And I will. I got to be honest with you. You should not fuck around with me. You shouldn't. I got a track record. What can I tell you? Michael says, Damon, your kid's on the Octonauts yet? It's an awesome show. Not yet, but I hear it's coming, and you're like the second adult to tell me, Michael, it ain't bad. So I am, whenever you can offer me an element of children's entertainment that isn't patently offensive to the adult who happens to be sitting in the room, I'm interested. Like, you got me piqued. You got my curiosity piqued, man. I will check out Octonauts. All right. Ray has never eaten duck. Probably not. Probably not. If you're burrito adverse. Has Gianna and been invited to Plus Mania? She has. We can't confirm anything yet, and we cannot confirm any celebrity appearances. But there's a very good chance our friend Larry Krueger is there. There's a very good chance our friend Gianna Franco is there. Mrs. Plus has been booked for the day, and we're not bringing kids, which means we're going to party with you. We're looking forward to that. Damon, Ray's just playing hard to get. Well, who doesn't love the chase? These pretzels are making me thirsty. I love good Seinfeld references. And it's funny, the only place I can really get my Seinfeld references in is on the show, because Jillian wasn't a Seinfeld gal growing up. She does, like, I watch the show, she's not laughing, she doesn't get it. She didn't grow up on the East Coast. Seinfeld is very much an East Coasty thing. All right. War's been declared. Damon, you made 95.7. Not only did I make 95.7, in making 95.7, I helped very much kill KNBR. And I saw today, Dude, that afternoon show on KNBR is in 17th place. I like Tom and Adam an awful lot. I like them as guys. If you put me in afternoon drive at KNBR and my rating was in 17th place, I would jump off of building. Like, it would be impossible. There's no way I would be in 17th place. There's just no way. That would not happen. Damon, you went to the mattresses. You're right. Now, Storybots, Elias Bueno. Storybots is fantastic. I have learned things watching Storybots. Storybots is an A+ children's show. I'll also tell you that I like it when Bluey is on, because Bluey has got one of the more loving family dynamics ever captured in a kid's show about these Australian sheepdogs. It's fantastic. So I'll do Bluey, and I do like Storybots. I mean, this is just, now you're making me blush. Swift Dog Niner, Bruce, thank you for this amazing opportunity to listen to great content. Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, what's amazing to me, what's really amazing to me is that after all these years here in San Francisco, whether it be on the radio or on the internet or you're listening to a podcast, wherever, that my level of honesty sticks out like a sore thumb in a world of bullshit. I figured, as we moved along with social media and all these different ways to find information, and everybody's got the ability to communicate with everyone, and everybody's got the ability to learn things on a deep level thanks to all the information that's on the internet. I really thought that it would be harder to stand out with the truth or interesting things than ever before in modern times, when truthfully it's easier now than ever before, because it's just a look out at all the bullshit out there. It's incredible. Again, I'm sitting around watching a network do an NFL pregame show with vast mountain of resources and player access and everything you could ever hope for. If I had one fraction, a tenth of the budget of the Fox pregame show, of the CBS pregame show. I mean, what do you think they spend on that every year? $300, $400 million? If you gave me $5,000, I could do a show that you'd never not talk about it for the rest of your life. It would be the Gone with the Wind of frickin' pregame shows. Give me and Larry Krueger a $5,000 budget for a show? What do you guys need? You need a $55 million budget? No, give us $5,000 and we will literally be better than CBS, Fox, and ESPN combined. Crazy. Michelle, I love Bluey. Of course you do, Michelle, because you have such a beautiful heart. You're such a warm person, and Bluey appeals to beautiful-hearted, warm people, which apparently I am too. Who would have ever known? It's a coffee table book about coffee tables, and if you pull out the legs, it is a coffee table. Don't have a square to spare. Love it. But Damon, you have to gaslight and sensationalize everything to get views. Yeah, or just get the 2-year-old to break water balloons on his head and all of a sudden it's the most viewed thing I've ever done. And I had nothing to do with it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Spongeworthy. Anyway, look at it this way. Everybody in this chat is spongeworthy. No doubt. No doubt. And we end with this. Micah Parsons from Rockin' New Era 84. It's not a lie if you believe it. That's perfect. That is the perfect place to end today. Thank you so much for being a part of this, for truly being an awesome member of this community. All of you, you are incredible, and you don't need to go home. You just can't stay here. It's not a lie if you don't believe it. The walk-off line of the show coming from Rockin' New Era 84. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day.